There is no question that AI is changing quickly. And as someone who's developed their own AI app and product, I've seen how rapidly the AI landscape is changing. And one of the things that so many artists and creatives are worried about is AI going to take away our humanity? Is AI going to take away our creativity? Is AI going to replace all the jobs? Well, there's so many questions out there. And the answer is no. We're going to dive deep into that topic today to talk a little bit more about human first AI and how to inspire more creativity in yourself and in your business by leaning in to using AI as an employee in your business and putting it to work. Hey there, I'm Tracy Matthews. I am the host of Creatives Rule the World, and I am fighting the war on creativity and helping small business owners just like you, especially the creative type, scale their brands using AI and living a life that they love. I'm so excited to be here today talking to my friend, Callan Faulkner. Callan was one of the first people who introduced me to one of the most used apps in my workflow, which is Claude. And I'm so excited to have her on the show today because she's an AI innovator. She's been one of the leading trainers in the AI movement. And she is going to break down so much in this episode. We talk about the energy that AI uses. We talk about creativity in AI, how to build a human first brand using AI, and so much more. So if you're curious about how AI can help your business, or you're curious about what AI is actually doing to this world, you're going to get a lot of value out of this interview. So let's dive right in. So we're going to have a really fun conversation today about AI. And many of you know, we recently launched Desire AI as an app in the AI photo studio. And Callan has been one of the pioneers of AI for me because we were sitting in a mastermind almost 2 years ago now. And she's like, let me show you what this thing called Claude can do. And I was like, what is Claude? I only know about ChatGPT. And my mind was blown and immediately opened. And what this woman has done to the AI universe in the last couple of years has been mind-blowing. So I wanted to have Callan back. Welcome back, Callan.
Thank you, Tracy. So excited to be here. So excited to talk AI, my favorite subject in the
I remember
world.
on our last conversation, you were saying you can have your AI be your therapist. That was like one of the conversations.
My baby, when I was a baby, I was like, look what it can do. You can prompt it to help you. Oh my God. Yeah, we were just chatting right before we were recording, and I just said, it's like, it has changed more in the last 3 months since January 2026 than it has in the last 2 years. Like truly, maybe a year. It is the pace and I used to not use the word AI employee, like AI actually doing the jobs of a human autonomously. And as of January, it is full blown happening. Happening. And it's very, very exciting.
We have so many things to unpack here. And before we do that, just real quick, introduce yourself again.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about your background, what you're doing in Uncommon Business. And I'm just so pumped for this.
I love it. Well, my name's Callan Faulkner. I am the founder of the Uncommon Business, and we are an AI education company, but I've been reminding my team, we really are a human training company. So we train mostly non-technical humans. We do have some amazing technical people in our program, but mostly non-technical humans on how to build, train, and deploy AI employees to increase profits, to increase output without adding any more time to their day. And I've been in the tech world for the last 15 years. I've ran different tech consulting companies. I tell people all the time, I don't actually really like technology. I am not a techie person. I've never coded a day in my life. What I'm obsessed with is shortcuts, hacks, efficiencies. I hate wasting time. I often tell people I am the most successful lazy person you've ever met in your entire life because I'm like, there has to be an easier way. Do not tell me to do that manually. No, no, no. So when I first saw AI 3 years ago now, it became my complete obsession because I just saw all the manual work. I saw the admin work. I saw the pivot tables and Excel spreadsheets my team was working on and manually writing out SOPs and manually answering client questions that I've answered 100 times over. And since then, we have trained over 50,000 leaders in our teams, which is insane. My first program we did April of 2024. We
So
had
crazy.
like 100 businesses come through, and since then it's been off the chart. So we have the most insane team. We've scaled to a team of 18. Last year we absolutely crushed it. This year is just, yeah, it's growing like crazy, and I'm loving every second of it.
Who says AI is replacing all the jobs? Callan's hiring multiple people for her AI
Oh
training
yeah,
company.
baby. Well, my email newsletter this week, the subject is AI is taking my team's jobs, and they're loving every second of it.
I was going to say, it's so fun when you don't have to actually do the work. You just get to train a model to do it for you.
100%. Well, that's the whole idea. Is I've been telling leaders, I'm looking at one of my fun things now is like looking at people's job descriptions, and I'm just seeing people hire humans to do the work. And I'm like, that is not the role of a human. The human, of course, there is work to be done. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm taking things over the finish line all the time, but there's not a task that I'm doing that doesn't have an AI employee helping me in some way, and then eventually doing the thing for me once I do it over and over again. The new role of a human being is not to do the work. It's to design, manage, and retrain, make that AI employee the best it can be to actually do the work. And so now we're hiring people, but what are we hiring for? AI skills I can train. Obviously, we're an AI training company. I can train someone to build an AI employee, but I cannot train communication, emotional intelligence, intuitiveness, critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability. Someone's job, if you start working for me right now, 5 years
It might
from now,
change.
yeah, you're going to be, because your job is to automate and build AI employees that do 70% of your job every 12 months. That's how people get bonused and promoted at my company. So if you are, yeah, if you're not automating yourself out of your position and build and thinking strategically, like today, this is a great example. We have a director of paid ads. One of the biggest pain in the butts has been creating static creative for our paid ads. Yes, just like, creative. Last month, I saw a bill go out for $4,000 to a creatives company to like build 200 static ads. I'm like, what in Lord's name is that bill? Absolutely not. No. And Carol was like, you're right. Okay. And so she went to work, and she's been asking tons of questions about Claude skills and what's possible. And she built an AI employee. I just saw it this morning. That is building phenomenal static ads. And it is trained obviously on our brand, our iconography, our logos, but it's also going out and doing research of our top 20 competitors, what static ads are working for them. It's going out and looking my organic every day, which ones are popping off, grabbing the transcript. It's going out and looking at the top YouTube videos in our niche, what hooks are popping off, aggregating it all together, presenting options to her, slacks her, hey, these are the options that we're thinking. She approves, and then it creates the actual static creatives, throws them in Google Drive for her to review. And
that is amazing. Does it go through, are you using Canva for that, or what's it going through?
It's actually Nano Banana.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah, love it. Nano Banana, or she's actually testing it now, doing it straight up in Claude and just having Claude.
Oh, and Claude's making the images.
And Claude co-work actually building the image. Claude, sorry, I know there's people that are brand new. Claude is a competitor to ChatGPT. Claude actually was founded by two people that used to work for ChatGPT, but they were very sus of how Chat was using the data, the security, and they were like, no, we're not doing it that way. We're starting our own company. So they went and founded Anthropic, and they launched, I think, 2022, 2023. And since then, they've been known as the safest, most trustworthy large language model on the market. That's kind of been their branding. I've loved them from the start. I think from a content perspective, that tone is so much more human. And Claude has a few different ways of working with it. So if you guys are taking notes, I would write down, there's Claude in the browser, which is what most people do. They just go to claude.ai and they chat with it. The next level that got released a few months ago is called Claude Co-work, and it is only available on your desktop app. So you actually have to go to like the Mac App Store, or you can go to your PC App Store and you download Claude to your desktop. And then you go into it, and at the top, it says chat, co-work, or code. Co-work is really the first time where it is actually becoming an employee, because it asks you, when I open a new chat, it says, what folder would you like to work in? and I can put it on top of my entire Google Drive.
What?
And that is the knowledge base now. So we've been spending the last 3 months loading everything and cleaning our Google Drive so that we have these perfect folders of 300 client wins. Our customer success folder is cleaned up. Our sales folder has all of our beliefs that we shatter and how we handle objections. Our curriculum folder has every single piece of curriculum that I've taught over the last 12 months with the transcript, the Zoom chat, PDFs and resources, the presentation that I gave, the PDFs, it's all in Google Drive. So when I start working in Claude Cowork, it has access to everything at one instance, and I can be working on ads. And in a moment's notice, I can say, you know what, I want to do 10 static ads that are all client stories with this hook. Can you go into the customer success database in Google Drive and go find 10 client stories you think would be really good for talking about the ROI of an AI employee? Boop, right into Google Drive. Because we've been collecting wins for the last 2 years, we have thousands. Just goes in, pulls it all in. And this is a lot of the work that we do with our clients, because you can have the perfect AI employee, but if your data and your infrastructure isn't set up properly, now we're running into some issues.
Okay.
But yes, Claude Cowork.
So much there, like my head, it's not spinning because I know about this, but also it's just it's so amazing what it can do. Okay, I want to talk about replacing humans, because we were talking a little bit more about the university, I almost said the name of the university, and their MBA program, and how they don't even have an AI training center. Let's talk about the waste of money an MBA is right now.
Oh my God. Well, this is one of my hot takes. I have been talking to a few friends, a few colleagues. I believe that an MBA is one of the worst investments you can make in yourself right now for many reasons. One, I'm looking at the future of what is going to be desired in the workplace. And the next 5 to 10 years are going to be, there's an article written recently. It's called End of Work as We Know It. I need to find the author, but I want to reference him. And he talked about this idea that it's not like people are going to not have jobs. Obviously, this has happened at every technological revolution. It's just going to be much different than it is now. And I've been really wrestling with this in my mind of, okay, so let's just talk about it. Let's say you're a mid-level operations manager or at a manufacturing company. Let's say someone's spouse is doing that right now. They've been able for their entire lifetime to get away with, I'm going to say it, mediocre work, updating Google Sheets every day, negotiating vendor contracts, looking at contract data and typing out new line items, running supply chain numbers and managing inventory. Now, do you think that's the highest and best use of that person's time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So what's going to happen is these MBA programs, they are so slow to change the curriculum. It's impossible to change an MBA program's curriculum, by the way. You got to go through layers and layers of bureaucracy. You think that an MBA program right now is teaching you Claude Cowork with scheduled tasks and Claude skills? Get the hell out of here. Sorry, get the heck out of here. No, they're not. And it fires me up because people are spending so much money going into debt, going to get loans from a bank for $200,000 plus for skills that will not be relevant. Some, especially leadership, communication, critical thinking, of course. I'm not saying to not have those skills, but what I'm saying is like that curriculum is so old. It's an old model. It's an old world. And in 5-10 years from now, that mid-level manager, you know what they need to be good at? They need to be able to walk into a room of humans that maybe they got invited to a board meeting. They need to immediately sense tension in the room and say the right thing to diffuse it within 5 minutes of being there.
Interesting.
They need to be
EQ.
that would be, if I'm investing any of my time in anything, it's my AI skills and my personal development and my spiritual practice, and my communication skills. Because if I have those things, I'm completely bulletproof to whatever happens in the economy. You can shut this company down right now and I could go make $500,000 a year anywhere as a leader, as a manager. So I think if anyone in your life is considering an MBA, please put them into an AI training before they consider going to learn skills that, in my opinion, are outdated.
I remember hearing you say this. I can't remember if you were saying it when you were speaking at the Pink Skirt Project or we were just talking about it. But you're like, someone offered me a job, or maybe I read it on social media. I can't remember. Someone offered me a job for 5 million and you turned it down or something like that.
I did. Yeah, I had an offer last summer. Yeah, he was going to pay me $5 million a year to run his company, basically. I said no because my mission and my purpose in this life is so clear to me. Because I know what I did, and I didn't really say it much in my story, but when I was running my old business, I had a consulting business, I had a real estate investing business, and then I also obviously worked W-2. I was so miserable. I absolutely hated, especially my consulting business. I was making more money than I ever made at the time. We were doing about $1 million in revenue, and margins were like 35%. So I was making like 350, triple what I'd ever made in my W-2. Hated it. I was working 60 hours a week. I was doing one-to-one meetings. Everything relied on me. Everything bubbled up through me. I think most entrepreneurs and founders live that life.
Yes.
They left their job to go build this thing that's going to give them freedom, and they are not free.
Mm.
And so when he offered it to me, he's an amazing person, and he is actually doing incredible things in the world. I just knew that my soul so deeply wanted to be teaching this, and as much impact as I could make in his organization, I just did. Well, first of all, I don't want to work for anybody. Oh yeah.
Who would? You're an entrepreneur.
No. So you can't, there's no money. There's no lot of money. But it was a good test for me because for a lot of time I've been motivated by money. And once you start to make money, there's really a threshold. Once you start to make a couple $1,000,000 a year, you're like, I have to like work to spend this now. What am I going to get, a G-Wagon? Like, no, I've got a Toyota RAV4. She's fantastic. Now it's about...
You can get your G-Wagon.
Probably my tax advisor's like, get your freaking, we need to make this like, you drive so much for this business. I'm like, I understand. We'll get the G-Wagon. We'll make the G-Wagon happen. But again, it's like, I wanted to lean back into, this is really important for people to hear, is what does your soul actually want? What brings you the most joy? What could you sit and talk about all day long? And I get, there's times when you have to make money, but if there's a way and there's something that's itching at you, and the moment I focused on just this, and I didn't even do it really for money, I just did it because I loved it, the money started pouring in. It was just because I was creating so much value in the world. And one of my mentors, his name is David Guillaume, he calls it, David, yeah. He says, he calls it invoicing the creator. If you just start pouring value into the world, you may not see the monetary ramifications of that immediately, but you invoice the creator and it's going to come back around. It might not be money. It might be like an opportunity. It might be a new friendship that you got access to. Maybe you got an invite on this trip that you're like, whoa, I didn't even know these women were thinking about me or knew me, and just kept leaning into that. So yeah, said no to the big dollars, and I do not regret it. That's been the best decision ever.
It's so great. It's so great. So I want to talk a little bit about the environmental impact of AI, because everyone's always talking about this. And I laugh so hard because when we're running ads, people just
rip you,
like to comment and say things about the cooling stations and that it's stealing all the fresh water. So, let's discuss.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. First and foremost, I want to say I am a massive fan of the environment, of the earth. Nature is my favorite place in the whole world. I think we have a larger issue at hand. And I think whenever there's a new technology, it always gets blamed for energy usage. If you go back and you look at news articles from when the internet started to come around, there was fear we would run out of water, we'd run out of clean air. Oh my God, it's going to be so terrible. What ended up happening? Obviously, I'm not thrilled with what's happening in our environment. But the truth is two things. One, 300 chats on ChatGPT is equivalent to an hour of watching Netflix in terms of energy usage.
300 chats, like separate?
Yeah, 300 different conversations. So the hilarious part is people are, ripping you a new one on Instagram while they've been scrolling for 2 hours. using water and energy in data centers. So no, we're not doing that. There's energy usage, yes, in technology, but we cannot say that AI is the enemy. Now, the second thing is AI is getting really efficient. In the last 12 months, Google has increased their efficiency 33x in terms of energy usage for chatting. And that's only going to continue to get better and better. Why? Because they're using AI models to create more efficiencies. So on that, I just said 2 points. There's 3 points. On that note, I have gone and I have looked super deep into what is happening with supply chain efficiency, transportation, manufacturing. In 2030, we are going to see the equivalent of 1 billion cars taken off the road because of AI's power in creating efficiency in all of those areas.
Wow.
So the energy saving that we're going to get from the power of AI is astronomical. And we are not talking about that because it's happening right now. If you think about right now, there are some computer models that, manage logistics companies' routes. But imagine getting AI on top of those models. How much more efficient could we be when we're driving the vehicle? How much more efficient could the vehicle be using AI to figure out the best way to I'm not a car person, engineer it together. So that's not being talked about. And then I think the data centers are getting a lot more efficient as well. So it's just being made an enemy. And I actually was chatting with a woman at yoga and she's like, my daughter won't let me use AI because of the environment. I was like, how old's your daughter? She's like, she's 12. Okay, this is a really good learning experience for you. Let's not let TikTok be our source of information. How about that? Maybe we get some real research.
Some real research.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Vivian, thank you so much for your opinion. I appreciate it. But your mom's business requires her to use AI, or she won't have a business and you won't be able to go to your friend's birthday parties.
So, or have her phone to watch TikTok.
Or have her own phone.
Yeah. I find this so fascinating. I did something super funny on Instagram a while back because someone had commented on a post about the water. And I remember you saying this, like we were having drinks in Kelowna. And then you said this on stage. Now let's talk. You're like, what are the questions? And someone's like, the water. And you say this whole thing. And I created this little parody. And it was funny because I'm like, if you really want to save the environment, go become an Amish. They don't use computers, the internet.
Probably the way out.
They drive on a buggy and probably still use outhouses. So if that's what you want, then you will save water and efficiency.
Yeah. Shut your phone down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you talk to someone on your phone today?
Okay.
You also use.
I know.
It's just, at some point there's so much fear about everything, and I think that's what I'm really passionate about too. Is there is so much fear around AI because the news organizations, they love it. You know how Fox News and CNN make money?
Creating
fear-mongering.
Yes, creating cortisol and adrenaline releases in our body. That's what they love. So this notion of AI is ruining the environment, AI is taking people's jobs. It absolutely is taking people's jobs and also freeing humans from soul-crushing work simultaneously, but they forget to mention.
So for all the people, I want to talk about this job thing because a lot of people are like, oh, it took my husband's job, it took this. And the one skill set I feel like any human needs now is to learn how to use AI in a way that they can actually be marketable for a new job. So what would you say to that?
First of all, we've trained over 50,000 people, and there's not been one single person that's gone through our program that's currently in a W-2 that has lost their job. And if they did, or if they got laid off, they've been rehired within 30 days and made more money than they were before.
Because they have AI skills.
Yeah, because they can go and be like, hey, can I just watch you work for 48 hours? And then I'll just come back and show you some AI employees that could save you time. Such a victim mindset. I can't even. I'm like, oh, she lost her job. Why did she lose her job? Because she's not being valuable. If you are being valuable to an organization, you will not lose your job. No one in my company that is valuable and adding value is going anywhere. Unless they're obviously talking smack about people, or they're bringing in negative energy that I can't control. But it is no excuse. I mean, you can get AI training from me for $9,000. You can get basically an MBA level AI training program. If I was in a W-2 job right now, I would be doing that program twice a year, every year. And people are getting 50% raises, 100% raises by going through our program on their own dollar and then coming back to their employer with all these ideas and saying, hey, you know what? I am seeing all these opportunities. I can probably save you, $50,000 a year there, $100,000 a year there, $200,000 a year there, but I'm going to need to get an increase in pay. And I have a few other offers just as an AI architect now, and they are getting these offers. And I'm obviously coaching them on what to say too, but no excuse. No excuse. Go learn this. Anytime there's fear, I'm like, we learn this spiritually. In Hinduism, Buddhism, Kabbalah, Christianity, you name it. It's where are you scared? Where do you feel resistance? They teach you to go lean into it.
Exactly.
No religion is telling you to run away from the thing that you are scared of. And I think that's the biggest thing. People are just they're going to put an excuse out there. But I think at this point, I've never had this much urgency around it. Usually when I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, this would be a nice thing for you to learn. Now I'm like, no, I'm legitimately fearful for people, but they'll have the wake up call. It's either they do it ahead of time or they're going to lose their job and then they go do it afterwards. Like, it's not really an if, it's just a when they're going to learn.
I find this too with people in their business. It's like the ones who adopt AI, especially for my jewelry designer crew and community, when we launched the Desire AI app, the amount of efficiency that it's creating for people when they actually get it is insane. Because someone came to me the other day, they're like, I'm using this other woman's thing and it has all the caption prompts and everything. I'm like, it's not the same. That's like a scratch the surface. I hear you talk about this being an AI architect versus what do you call it? AI architect versus
now I'm calling it just a regular
AI person. But when you really are using a solution that's going to do all the parts of your business for you, and you save so much time and you're moving into execution and you're not sitting here having to figure out, how do I train it? How do I prompt it? All these things. It literally changes your life. And it becomes
the problem
your
is
business dashboard.
So I've been really researching the effects of meditation. And actually last night I met with this very famous Hindu priest, and it's more about practicing concentration. It doesn't have to be meditation. It can be doing the dishes and be present doing the dishes as focus. Do I do that? No, on my phone, I'm FaceTiming over here, I'm talking to Nicole, but I'm also doing something in Claude simultaneously. I'm doing 17 things at one time. Do I know subconsciously I need to be working on my concentration and slowing down and doing one thing at a time? Absolutely. It's your clients too. Do they know they need to implement AI into their business? Absolutely. Why are they not doing that? They are not doing it because they don't understand what the future state of their business is going to look and feel like once AI is in place. They have no idea. They cannot even comprehend. It's like, for me, last night I was talking to a man named Don DePani. He's absolutely sensational. If anyone wants to research him, he was just on Cody Sanchez's podcast. He's like, once you start to realize, once you have this skill of concentration and focus, you can snap into flow state whenever you want to. You can access the breadth of your emotions. And when you look at your girlfriend or your partner, you will start to feel like the moment you fall in love with them. When you look at your kids, you will feel this welling of tears in your eyes because you can feel in your body. Oh, I want that. It's aliveness. He's like, you will feel so alive. Right now, I think you're happy, but you don't even realize how much more alive you could be. So same thing with your clients. They're like, things are good. It's like an alcoholic that drinks three drinks a day. And you're like, do you ever feel hungover? And they're like, no, I feel great. And you're like, oh, you just have no idea what it feels like. So what does it feel like to have an AI powered business? It feels like you are barely asked a question by your employees. They forget that you exist, by the way. And it's a hit on your ego. I'm like, do you guys need me for anything? Do you want anything from me? They're like, no, go away. You've already trained all your people on the way you think, the decision making. We'll bring it to the meeting that we have with you every week. But we don't need you. Please stop bothering us. It feels like your clients get every question answered that they want. I mean, 80%, because they've already asked it. It's already in your email. Why do you not have an AI employee that's answering your clients' questions? What are we even talking about? You're paying a human to do that work? And obviously I've been doing this for 3 years, so it's like so ancient to me now. What would it feel like to never have to parse through it, never have to sit and think of content? No, your AI employee is already grabbing transcript, pulling out the stories that you told on team meetings, giving you ideas for your email newsletter. How about already drafting the email newsletter? It's 80% done, sitting in your drafts. You just need to tweak it. I just, people don't, again, to what you're saying, like they don't know what's possible. And this is why they need to see a demo with you. And that's why I do these magic shows. I call them AI magic shows. They are adult magic shows. They are. They're adult magic shows. There are no Chip and Dales, but we show AI employees in use because people just cannot.
I want to see your magic show.
Come.
April 21st, baby. You've got.
Okay,
I'm sure
girl.
you'll put the link in bio.
Oh, it's
Yes.
gonna be
Tell
our
us,
next one. Yeah.
tell us about your AI magic show and tell us about your different programs because I know people are going to be curious about it after this.
Yes. So I tell everybody, get your booty into this, what I call the AI magic show, is the AI boot camp. We do it twice a year. It is 3 days, 3 90-minute sessions. And I show under the hood of our business. We have over 100 AI employees inside of sales, finance, operations. Even I have a personal finance manager that knows every single thing about my finances, my entities, my structure. I was telling Tracy, I'm so excited to do taxes because my little AI employee that I built. This is not a PowerPoint presentation. This is pulling up Claude and walking through how we activate and use and schedule our AI employees to do work when we are not there. At the end of the boot camp, I invite people into our 12-week program that is live coaching with me. It kicks off May 12th. That program is called Automate to Accelerate. The boot camp, by the way, is the regular ticket's $47. The VIP is $197. Get the VIP. You get a bonus session with me and you get to watch me build AI employees on the fly. That is a very powerful experience. You don't get to watch me build them in general. You only get to watch me build them in VIP. So get VIP. That is just getting a taste. You have to see the magic. It's like I'm talking about. Like, you don't even understand what's possible until you start to, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize you could do that with a Google Sheet. I didn't even realize that I could have all of that scheduled and all that research done and all of that content created by the time I walk into my desk. So you need to see the power. 12-week program, the purpose of the program, at the end of it, you are graduating as an AI architect. You have the ability to build AI employees, AI projects, AI workflows. The first 6 weeks, we go through the different themes. So we'll build an AI employee for inside of marketing, inside of sales, inside of operations, inside of finance, inside of HR. Even if you are a solopreneur and you don't think you're going to use these, it's not really about using them, although they're extremely powerful. It's about practicing using them, practicing building them. I teach this as if we were you're coming to my chef school. I am the world-class chef. I've been cooking up AI employees for 3 years. I've seen it work. I've burned them. I've set the oven on fire. And then finally I have these recipes. So you get a lot of my recipes, but then the last 6 weeks are really you building yours for your business. So one of my favorite examples is I have this woman, Jennifer. She's a coffee roaster. She came through the program, love it, the Automate to Accelerate one. And she kept asking me before the program, how am I going to use an AI employee? I'm like, I don't know, Jennifer. What do you do every day? She's like, I don't really know. I'm like, well, you should probably start writing down what you do or else no one's going to be able to help you. So then finally she went through the program. And then at the end, she was like, oh my God, one of my worst tasks that I do is I do farmers markets on Saturdays. I sell my coffee. And on Sundays, I have this sheet of paper with people's names and their emails, and I have to get it into my CRM. And it used to be this whole process where she'd take a picture, she'd have AI script the text off, but some of the emails were like spelled wrong. But she's like, it's Mike Jones. Like, obviously it's M Jones at Gmail, not M Jonas. You know, she's like, oh my God.
And
Okay,
Mike
so
Jones is going to be getting a lot of emails now.
Mike Jones, yeah, exactly. And then she sends all the emails into Never Bounce to make sure they're actually legitimate. And then she takes the list and puts it into her CRM system. ConvertKit. Because of the program, she learned how to train an AI employee. So all she has to do now is take a picture of this, send it to the AI employee. It pulls everything down. It looks at their name to double check the email. And it's like, that doesn't look right. Let me look at the name. Then the AI employee is connected to Neverbounce. So it takes all the emails into Neverbounce, cleans out the ones that aren't legitimate. Then it has an integration with ConvertKit. So it takes all the names, adds them all as contacts, tags them with lead source farmers market, and she doesn't have to touch it. It is done. Used to take her like 25 minutes per farmers market. Now it's a 1 minute, bing, send, done. And it may not seem like a big example, but when you compound these workflows over and over and over again, and now she has 20, 25, 30. She has an SEO blog writer one. She has one that updates her website timers and new products. And she has one that integrates with Shopify, which I know Jason is working on too, of being able to update your website in real time and not having to do that.
Hint, hint, we're building an attachment to work with like that for Desire AI. So you can build a Shopify website, update your website, all of it.
It's complete game changing. I mean, that is thousands of dollars a month that we're talking about. Yeah, and that program is really for people that are serious. And Jennifer's a great example because she has a W-2. She's building this on the side and she committed. She was like, I don't effing care. Like, I'm going to figure out how to run this. I'm going to figure out how to do it. She made it happen. That program is $8,997 for the 12 weeks. And then you can add a team member. So I say, like, look, if you have a team member, please bring them. It's $1,500 to add a team. You can add 100 people, $1,500 a person. And I tell every founder, if you have somebody working for you right now and they are not bringing you ideas for AI employees, their stint with you is very short. They have 3 months, 6 months we're We are in March 2026. By November 2026, if they want their bonuses, we got to have these payroll conversations. How are you paying your employees? You are paid to automate yourself out of a job. That's how you get paid. So this is the new model of leadership. But if all this sounds like gibberish and you're scared, just come to the boot camp and just don't think about anything else. Just come there. We'll talk about Automate to Accelerate, the 12-week program. After that, the boot camp is the place to start. And I've had people just come to the boot camp, and one of my clients came to the boot camp. You know her very well. And
which one, Alicia?
Yeah. She only talked about it on her podcast. She just came to the boot camp and got a massive.
Oh no, she's like an AI wizard now. I love her so much.
She's like a director of AI now, and it started. She didn't know anything about it until she came to the boot camp. And now
she's really, really good at figuring. She's like you. She's really good at figuring things out.
She's genius. She's so creative. She's so creative.
If you are creative, I mean, if you're creative, it's you don't understand until you get into it, but it introduces a childlike play and imagination back into your work. It's so hard for me to describe it. I've never felt so creative in my entire life being able to use these tools. And everything people are saying about AI is just so wrong because they're not actually using it. They're not actually building businesses with it.
And that's the thing that I think
that are obsessed.
The creativity conversation, it's like, what if it freed you up to do the creative work that you absolutely loved and you're not stressing out about all this other stuff, which is amazing. I'm so excited.
Now we're talking.
So for those of you who want to learn more about Callan's Bootcamp, we're going to have it in the little show notes below.
Descriptions.
Like what are those things underneath? The show notes. Below. And then you also have another program called Superhuman for people who want to learn the basics.
I do.
I forgot about Superhuman Work. Yes. So Superhuman Work is available right now on my website. It is a recorded course. We just re-recorded everything at the end of February 2026, and that gets regular updates. So if you're like, look, Callan, I just need to start learning this right now, $14.97 on our website, and you can also get certified as a Superhuman Worker. And this is a recorded course. It's available anytime. And when you join Automate to Accelerate, you automatically get Superhuman. So it is a part of it. And then also if you buy Superhuman, we'll give you a discount on A2A. So it's that precursor program because it's like, what's Gemini? What's Claude? What's Granola? How do I get a how do I,
the more basic stuff.
Yeah. Even the stuff in there, people are hilarious. They're like, I've been working in Claude Code for a year. Should I still get Superhuman? I'm like, Larry, get it. And he'll message me and be like, okay, I built 4 AI agents in the last 2 days, but I am blown away by the way you're using prompting. I'm like, that's what I'm saying, Larry. It's not always the complicated solution. Sometimes it's just the basics. I would show, I have these different sections in Superhuman that are so badass. It's like the day in the life of an AI powered sales rep, the day in the life of an AI powered content creator, the day in the life of an AI powered executive assistant. And I show all these just regular workflows of how I would use AI to take a transcript and turn it into a beautifully formatted proposal in my voice, in my brand, with my logo, in a perfect template. Very simple. But a lot of people don't even know that that's possible. So it is.
You're magic. It's so
fun
fun to listen to you talk. I love it.
So much fun.
Thanks for being here, Callan.
Thanks for having me, Tracy. See you in the boot camp. And next time when Jason's ready, Jason's, I think, really close, we're going to come back on and talk about the power of Desire AI, because I'm ready. And I'm already here. I've heard some behind the scenes stuff, you guys. It's next level.
It's next level. So it really is.
I love it.
Thank you so much for watching this show today. I hope that you loved that interview as much as I did. Every time I talk to Callan, I just get so excited. Now, Callan talked about a boot camp and many other things in this video. So I'm going to have the links for everything below the video. So make sure that you check it out. And if you like this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel and make sure that you click that notification bell so that you're notified every time we release a new episode. Thanks for watching today. This is Tracy signing off. Until next time.